What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Chillin' with Dylan podcast. You're chilling with your host Dylan today, and we have a very, very special guest today, Mr. Felipe. And as a spectator / possible participant, we have his wife, Loie. Glad to have you here, man. I appreciate y'all coming out here to do this with me. Let's just get into it, man. What's your background? Where are you from? How'd you end up here? Shit like that.
All right. Well, I'm from Colombia. I'm 22 years old, and I came here 3 years ago with a student visa. But I've been coming here to the US for a few years, like say it's 7 years.
Did you come here before you moved here? Just do you have family here or something?
Yeah, my aunt, she married an American guy, and she moved to Utah. So we have her, and when I was 13 years old, we asked for the visa, the tourist visa, and we came here. And we came again when I was 15, 17, and then I decided to come here to go to school.
That's kind of nice, though, that you had been here a few times without the whole commitment of going to school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could actually tell if you wanted to come out here.
If I like it or not. Yeah, I think it was crazy because the first time I came here, I was 13 years old, and we went to Vegas, which is a crazy city.
Yeah, that's crazy for a 13-year-old.
Yeah, and the first time coming to America, So
it was an introduction.
It was the whole show there. So that was pretty funny. I like it because America is really different from South America. Here everything is big, and you have different flavors for everything. That's the first thing I noticed when I came here to the
Wait,
US.
different flavors? Just a giant variety of everything?
For example, Red Bull.
Oh, okay, food.
Food
I thought you meant
drinks.
Variety of just
no.
everything in general. Yeah, we have some... I just got a Celsius from the front desk up here the other day, and it was Mandarin marshmallow peach or something. I was what is this, dude?
Was it good?
It was pretty good, yeah, but I get what you're saying. If you went to any other country, that would just be illegal.
Yeah. I think in Colombia we just have the OG Red Bull. That's it.
What, really?
Yeah.
The OG Toro Rojo.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say then is do you feel treated, obviously you probably feel treated differently in a different country.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say do you feel treated better or worse than you did in Colombia?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
And it's probably a little hard too because you were younger then.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think when you are really young, it doesn't matter the place you are. Usually old people, they treat you different because you're young.
yeah.
And that happens in Colombia, that happens here. But when I was in Colombia, I think it really depends on your appearance, your physical appearance.
Okay, just if you're attractive or not or something.
And the way you dress,
Okay.
all that stuff. So I'm here, I don't think you guys care much about appearance, physical appearance. You can see people in PJs going to the mall or going to the grocery store. That doesn't happen in Colombia.
Yeah, that's true. I've never even thought about that because I grew up with that. But I remember going up to the gas station in the morning or something, and there'd just be people in their pajamas, they just got out of bed and went to get a donut or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never even thought of that or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you do that in Colombia, you will be called crazy or something.
Okay, so it's a little more... So is it even people that don't have a lot of money to get nice clothes and stuff? Are they just using credit cards and stuff to get clothes? Is that a big priority? Is prioritizing your looks?
Yes. Usually people, they rather to buy the new car, the new brand car, and instead of buying food or paying the rent. or you know.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Is it like just
And I think it's part of the culture. Is I don't know why it happens, and it doesn't make any sense. But it's just like people like to know what other people think about them.
okay? So it's a very like self-conscious
Yes.
culture almost.
Yes.
Whereas, yeah, I guess in America, I feel like it's kind of a shameless culture. Like, I mean, people do all kinds of crazy stuff and just look insane, you know, like, but you don't think anything of it when you live here and this is all you've known your whole life. It's just like, I would imagine like going to Colombia, I would run into like the Colombian version of Steve-O from Jackass, like, but yeah, it's very interesting that's just something I would have never even considered being like a difference between the countries. Do you ever, when was the last time you went home, or was it like when you came here was the last time?
Yeah, when I came here was the last time.
Okay.
It's really expensive to go back to Colombia because if I go there I won't work and I'm gonna spend just money there. And
Is it just because like work is hard to find there?
yeah,
or?
it's really hard to find, and they like the process of hiring is really slow.
Okay.
It's not like here that you show up and then you start the next day. Usually it's not like that in Colombia.
So like when you apply to a job, is it the part where they contact you and say, hey, we want you for this job? Is that what takes long, or do they get back to you pretty quickly, but the actual process of getting you like authorized to work there, like is that the part that takes so long?
I think it's both parts.
Okay, so it just takes them forever to
Yeah.
call you and to
Yeah.
man, that sucks, dude.
It depends on the job, but it's usually like that.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I feel that that's something I like here because you show up and you like they do an interview for you. Maybe they don't. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
It depends on the job, and you get the job and you start working really easy.
yeah, they're like, oh, come in after the weekend. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've definitely had jobs take like a long time to get back to me, whether to tell me that they have no availability or that I'm in, which I've never understood, like when employers call you to say, yeah, the position's been filled. It's like, dude, just don't even tell me. Like I already forgot about this because you took forever, and now you're just calling me to basically just say, sucks for you, dude.
Yeah.
Just insult to injury.
Yeah. Also, like, the wages here are way better than in Colombia. Usually, the tip culture also for servers or.
Is there not much of a tip?
No.
I feel like most other countries don't really
No.
have a tip culture, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I hate it, like working in the restaurant. I hate when that screen just pops up to add a tip, because I'm just like, if they want a tip, they'll just throw some money in the jar. Like, I don't like the idea of like a prompt coming up. But yeah, it's very interesting that not many other countries are that adamant about it.
Yeah, you do it in Colombia, but when the server is really, really good.
Like when it's warranted to give them
Yes.
a tip, basically.
Yes, and when it's a fancy restaurant, they include the tip on the bill already,
Just
when
like
they
a-
check.
Like an automatic gratuity, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's. I feel like that's how tipping should be. Is like when somebody goes above and beyond, because it should be like your workplace is paying you enough anyway that you don't need tips. But I feel like America has like seen that as like, especially like bigger corporations and stuff. They see that as a way of like, oh, if we like push the tipping more, then the customers can just pay our employees, and then we can pay them less
Yeah.
because the guests are paying them now. And I don't like that. I don't jive with that. It's just really weird.
Yeah, I think there should be tips, of course, but just like because like when you're a server, your salary is based on your tips. It should not be like that. The tip should be like a plus, like an
Exactly.
extra money you're making. You know.
Yeah. It's like I don't feel like tips should even be considered for like employers when they're like thinking about how much they should pay their employees. Like tips are not guaranteed
Hmm.
because if we were doing it right, it would be like in Colombia, like you get a tip when you go above and beyond and give somebody a really good experience. But like I just totally spaced, man. I just totally spaced. Yeah, I don't know. Tipping in America is interesting.
Also, something crazy is in Colombia we prefer cash. Like
Like for tips or just
no
for payment in
paying
general?
everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my dad, he doesn't have a bank account. He just have cash.
So he just got it like stuffed in his mattress or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know where, but yeah.
Well, that's good. That means he's hiding it good then. That is his bank.
Yeah, but it is becoming more normal, like the norm to have credit cards now.
Yeah.
But like 5 years ago, it was just cash. Like 80% of the population just paying with cash all the time. That's something that I noticed here that it's like most of the time you don't have cash. You just your credit
Yeah.
card.
Cash is like most of the time you get it from tips or just doing like odd jobs for
Yeah.
like your neighbor or something.
Hmm.
But do you think that? Why do you think that is in Colombia? Do you think it's just like everybody kind of has like a distrust in the system and doesn't want to put their money?
Yeah, banks are not that good in Colombia. Like we don't have so many rights that you have here in Colombia, so people don't trust them. And they rather have their money on like in cash, because for example, problems happen with your bank, and they take forever to solve that problem, that issue. So and they are like always trying to cut corners, you know. Just-
Yeah, trying
just-
to add some little fee in there or something. Or,
Yeah, they don't work very well. So I think that's one of the reasons why we still use cash.
Yeah, it's really funny because I feel like in America, like people talk so much about how they don't trust the system and stuff, yet they have bank accounts and stuff, and yeah, it's funny because I don't know, I don't know. It's just like I don't know how to put it. I feel like sometimes like especially like South American like countries, I feel like are I don't know, everybody's more like independent almost. Like I guess I don't know if I even want to say that, but like everybody is like on guard. Like no, not patriotic, like more like untrusting of just I don't know, maybe not. I've never been to Colombia. I don't have any room to talk about what I think Colombia's like, dude.
I think their people are smarter.
Yeah, honestly.
I think their people are smarter because they eat better food,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your food it fuels you. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
I just think it's different perspectives, because like it depends on where you grew up. You wanna think of different about the world, you know. Like so, I think Colombia we don't think about much about being like those. I don't know what they call them. I lost my mind. I lost my thought.
So, just from the standpoint of like being an immigrant here, do you think people treat you differently than they would treat like say me, like somebody that's from here? Like, do you feel that way, or like have you had any experiences that have been like that?
Yes, and I think it relies on how you look, on how white you are, because I'm from Colombia, but I'm pretty white.
Yeah, you're pretty fair skinned.
Yes, so like people think I'm usually from Spain or Europe or France or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, and I have seen the difference between me and my cousin Steven. You remember my cousin?
Yeah, the one in St. George.
Yeah, he's more like more darker than
Yeah.
me. So people treat him different, and even though I'm an immigrant too, just because I look white. So
Yeah, it's more like the difference in treatment, I guess, probably isn't because like people don't know you're an immigrant right off the bat, like
yeah.
but people see your skin color right off the bat, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of just like weird assumptions that float around, and
It also depends on the place because Utah is pretty white, so that happens
yeah.
more here often than, for example, California.
yeah, California is like
More Hispanic. So
yeah, or even like LA is like, I mean, there's Little China, Little Italy, like just everything, and every type of person is out there, but Utah is like Mormon settlers from like 200 or 300 years ago or whatever that just had a bunch of kids, and now all their kids basically own this place. And
Yeah. But yeah, usually like the first impression is like they think I'm from here or from Europe. Then they hear my accent, and some people have changed after they hear my accent
okay, so
because
it's like,
they realize, okay, he's not from here. you know?
yeah.
And maybe that's a red flag for some people, like a stereotype, and that happens.
Have you ever had like somebody is just like chill with you, like all the way up until the point you tell them that you are like an immigrant? Like, have you ever had a time where somebody has just completely changed after you told them that?
No, not that extreme. It's just like slightly. You can
Okay.
notice, but they hide it. They're
Yeah.
discreet about it.
That's the thing too, is like I feel like when it is like that, they hide it because they know that that's just like kind of a fucked up way of looking at things, and
Yeah.
like if you're doing stuff right, like you won't feel the need to hide things like that. Like
Do you think people are more outwardly racist in Colombia or more outwardly racist in America?
I'll say America.
I feel like, I mean, like I said, I've never been to Colombia, but I mean, I've met a lot of people from other countries, and I feel like most other places, like, there is definitely racist beliefs in all places, but yeah, I feel like it's like I had like friends from France and stuff, and like they would say like, yeah, racism is a thing, but it's just like people think that, but they never say anything, or like actually like go out and are like, fuck you for being brown or
from
whatever.
another country. Yeah.
But America definitely, I think it just like, again, what I said earlier, America is more of like a shameless country. Like everybody is kind of like, this is me, deal with it. And, that's fine. Like, but, you always get those people that are not that cool. And they're, I don't know.
Oh, First Amendment, baby.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I love America, because it's just, anything goes. You can do whatever you want. Like, even if you want to be a total butthole licker, like, you can do that, dude. Like, that's fine. I mean, like, what is that like? Is there I don't know, like freedom of speech and stuff? Like, what is that like over in Colombia? Or
Yeah,
like the right to remain silent when you talk to cops and stuff like that?
It's hard to say because the law in Colombia, there is law and there's good law, but they don't apply it. So, for example, when you're in the streets, the cops, they don't even know the law. So, like, they don't know what they're gonna write you a ticket about.
So,
for example,
like they just kind of let anybody be a cop, basically.
not anybody, but it's really easy to be a cop.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Like in Colombia, people don't like cops. I know here is like 50-50. People like cops,
Yeah.
people don't like cops. But in Colombia, it's like 90% people don't like cops.
yeah. I feel like in America, it's like I've noticed like more populated areas are like the cops suck, and then like more rural areas are
Yeah.
like boys in blue, let's go. So it's like very interesting to see just where you are. Like those views can be different.
It's like if you go to Walmart versus going to a small town store, who's going to give you better customer service?
Yeah, exactly.
What cop's going to give you better customer service? A small town cop?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
like
That knows all the people in the town?
yeah.
Yeah.
More chill.
Yeah.
That's like when I was in Oklahoma, the town I was living and working in, population was like 400. There was one cop there, and he knew everybody, and everybody knew him, and nothing ever went wrong because, you can't hide from the dude. You're in the middle of a giant field in the middle of nowhere, and but in like cities, it's like, I think the cops have to work a lot harder too, so they can't. And there's a lot more people to manage, so it's like you can't really.
Oh, they deal with so much more.
Yeah, all the crimes and crazy people and
Crazy.
just.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
And they have families, and they risk their lives.
Yeah. It's very interesting how there can just be the two extremes of like one viewpoint, like just the subject of cops, and then there's each end of the spectrum. It's really cool, and I don't know. I love how in America we're allowed to express either side that you're on. You can express it, and what about the freedom of speech and all that in Colombia? Like if you go out and you hold up a sign that says like "F the police."
You should give an example and tell them about because what I was thinking about was the protest that you were at. Can you tell me about
Oh yeah, there was two really big protests in Colombia when we had the last president, because he was trying to pass a law that it was really bad for health care and economy and overall really bad. So like people got really upset and they went to the streets, and it was like a lot of people, like 10 million people in the streets.
Holy crap!
Around the
10
country.
million.
Yeah, it was so many, and they at the beginning it was peaceful, and then they just start like using that gas that makes you cry.
Like the tear gas.
Yes, and they were using helicopters to
my gosh.
just like to create terror, so
Yeah.
people don't go to the streets. And there was a lot of cases that there was snipers on the roofs shooting people.
Like from the government.
Yes,
Oh.
like police or
Ooh.
army. And there was like I remember there was tanks, but like in the rural areas where the army is, the bases.
Wait, you said tanks?
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! What?
But they don't shoot those, obviously. But
They just do it to scare.
to create
try
terror.
to control.
And literally, like they cut the Wi-Fi, they cut the light in some neighborhoods.
Holy dude!
It was really bad, and that was. So I had my cousins here. They were back in Colombia at that time with me, and they were like 10 and 12 years old, and they were scared. They were crying because it was, and they never left home during that time. But it was just crazy to hear all the news and people just going out and screaming, and you just see all the cops on the streets.
Yeah, that's like end of the world type of stuff
Yeah.
right there.
And there is some really cool pictures and really crazy because you can see like the helicopters just going around, and just the people with like the ski mask, like their faces
it's
covered.
like a Grand Theft Auto loading screen picture
Yeah,
or
literally.
something.
Yeah. And I went. It was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was a long time.
Wow.
It was a while. And I went the first 3 days to the protest.
Wait, how old were you then? Because your
was-
cousins are older than.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was
right.
like 17 years old. That was before coming
Wait,
here.
didn't you say your cousin was like 10 or something?
Yes.
Is it the cousin you were talking about from?
No,
St.
no,
George?
no.
Oh, okay.
Another cousin.
Okay, I got all mixed up then. I was like, holy crap, you must have been like 7 years old out there, like protesting the cops.
That happened like 5 years ago or so.
Okay. That's pretty recent.
hmm So I went to the first days, and it was crazy. Like just see people throwing drugs, and just the cops throwing those bullets that are like
The rubber ones?
rubber
Yeah.
bullets. And I was there for the first 3 days, and I was in the middle of the battleground. It was crazy. It was crazy to see just all the gas and the people crying, and other people just throwing rocks to the police.
Did you
And
get
the
any of the like gas in your?
yeah, it was.
Does it just like burn and make you
Yeah,
cry,
they were
basically?
using Aspire gas,
using what?
like Aspire.
Oh, like it's like old
Yeah,
Like,
it's all like
That's just double whammy.
It's not healthy for you, but when it's expired, it's like it can be mortal for you. It can kill you, I guess. And I don't know. It was to see like have you seen the game Battlefield?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, just a massacre, basically. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. Like, I know in like the past few years here, like there's been, quite a few times where there's been like protests, but I don't think anything like that. Like
something that was not close, but it was similar to the one that I had in Colombia was the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
that was pretty big.
The ones that were like a couple years ago. Yeah, I remember.
It didn't look the same and sound the same. It didn't. You showed me pictures of the one in Colombia. I don't know if you can pull up a tab on your board. You could literally look up pictures right now of it, so you can get a visual too.
What year was this?
I think it was 2019 or 2020.
Oh. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Holy crap! That is So for the listeners out there, just look up Colombia protest 2019, and you'll see this protest that Felipe's talking about. And yeah, I mean that's a lot of people. That's
way more than Black Lives Matter. And when I was talking about like Americans just being lulled and not as smart, that's what I mean, because we shouldn't be that mad about paying 40% taxes, but we're so lulled and we just like stay on our phones and don't do anything about it.
Yeah, like that. Like
we just sit and let it happen and complain and text. Why?
Yeah, I definitely think America has like a very like entitled like crybaby culture. There's obviously things to be upset about, but
the worst thing is expecting a president to fix a problem.
No, exactly. It's like we should all be doing the inner work ourselves, changing and making things better. If you don't like make a change in the world, you're not going to see any change in the world. And I think just in America in general, it's just kind of, we don't really realize like the privileges we have and the like how like a lot, like I didn't know about these protests. Like there's probably millions of other people that are just like me that have never even heard of this protest in Colombia, and it's like we could be having that.
But how much do we hear about Palestine? All the time. And it's like, so really our news tells us what they want us to hear, what they want us to be upset about. Because why didn't anybody talk about the terrorism that the Colombian government was doing on its own people? Like, America sounds like such a salvation country all the time, being like, oh, we care about these other countries and what they're going through and what's happening. But it's like, do we? Or if it just fits your motive?
No, yeah. Yeah, that's why I think, like me personally, I've never really had any faith in any type of government. Like what I just said, like where, I think like if you really want to see things change in the world, you have to, be part of it. And like why wait for somebody else to come along and change things when, we all have that ability. And yeah, I think we're just like so privileged here and like blind to our blessings that like, we don't think about like how we have that power to make a change rather than waiting on somebody else to come along and do it. But
I just find this picture. I don't remember if it was real or not.
That's a dope picture though. Rolling Stones cover with that's from the protest?
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to get a picture of myself like that, but minus the
having to be in a situation.
Yeah, minus the helicopters and the all that stuff.
Yeah, like, and it's like also what you were saying. Like I've seen protests in America my whole life. I remember whenever I was a child and my parents went to the Tea Party because they were protesting Obama's presidency with my grandpa. Like I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And recently they had protest for, I don't even remember what it was. What was it about? Was it Trump? That was the most no kings.
Oh yeah, there was a couple people here that went to. They had one in Kanab, and a
but
couple.
It's always one side or the other. We can't unite like how they did. They united because they were like, no, this is somebody who's bad, and we're gonna become like we're coming together as a people of Colombia.
That's a beautiful thing because I think. Yeah, in America, it's mostly about division. Like everybody wants to pick a side, but it's like really, there is no sides, dude. It's like we're just working against ourselves. You know, I think at the end of the day, everybody wants the same things. You know, we all want to be happy and loved and fulfilled and all this and all that. And you know, we all have our own ways of going about that. But I think if we could all just see that. You know, we're not all as different as we think. I think we'd be able to get to a lot more common ground on things and not have to have protests and...
Or even just be like, hey, can we all agree we shouldn't be paying 40% taxes? Can we all agree?
Let's
get
real.
Together right now. Because they dumped... The people, Americans, got together and dumped tea in the harbor because of, 2% tax or 3%? It was literally around that, and the fact that we're at 40 now and we're all just getting upset about very little things.
Yeah, it's I have no problem paying taxes as long as it's not ridiculous, because I do want to, I don't have problems paying taxes when I see that what I'm paying for is seeing roads in my community get fixed and things like that, but. Yeah, 40%.
I think for the most part, taxation is theft because things get taxed 3 times over.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it,
it's already been taxed on.
Yeah, when you think about it, when you earn your money at work, you have income tax and then federal income tax, or state and federal, whatever, and then you take that money to go buy something, then you have to pay sales tax and. You know, whatever, and then you do things with whatever you do, and say you buy something that helps you start a business, now you have to pay taxes on all the money you make from, it's just every little nook and cranny where they can take a dollar from you.
They collect fees for you running a business in the first place too. You can't run a business without the government collecting fees.
Yeah, or paying for licenses or whatever.
I mean, our original founding fathers were not people like how our government is today.
Yeah,
They were people who were rebels.
Yeah.
They were rebels. George Washington didn't even want to be president. He was a general. He was out there on the battlefield.
Yeah, he's bro, I want to ride around on this horse and chop people's heads off, bro. Forget sitting in an office all day signing papers.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's very interesting how. Because I know what we're going through in the not even just here but in the world now in general is not the vision that people had hundreds, maybe even thousands of years ago. I think if I don't know, our ancient ancestors saw us, they'd be like, what are you doing, bro? Chill out. Go meditate under the stars or something, dude.
I think one of the big problems about why American people don't fight together against something is because there is so many states, and each state I feel is its own country.
Oh yeah,
and they have different culture, values, and they think different. So it's hard to have the 51 states to the population to come together and do something.
50.
Yeah.
50.
I mean, yeah. When
kind of 51 if you have the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, fair.
We own that.
I mean, it's when you really think about it too. Just the fact that there's states here that just inherently divides everybody. You know, just because you look at a map and there's these imaginary lines drawn on there, we're already divided from that, and then within those lines. There's different beliefs, different cultures, different
government.
Yeah, even different ways of talking. So just right off the bat, you're divided, and then when there is an issue that affects the whole, not all the parts are working together. So yeah. But I feel if all of those little lines were taken off the map, maybe it would be different. We'd be I live in America, like not Michigan in America or Texas in America or whatever.
That should be the mindset, like you live in the same country.
But is there like states in Colombia then too?
No, we have
it's just like one big.
No, I mean we have something called departments, like regions, but they're just regions. Like we have the same law in every region.
Okay,
so like we have one main government, and that main government is for all the parts of Colombia.
I'm pretty sure that's how Canada is.
Okay, yeah, because I've seen like
it has different provinces.
Yeah, but it all follows the same law.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's where things get, because like this is just like the first example I think of is with weed, dude. It's like I can be in Nevada and it's legal there. I can have it, like in my car and all this. But as soon as I cross this imaginary border, a cop can pull me over and throw me in jail when just 5 minutes ago I was fine. Like sometimes I think there's benefits and like pros and cons of like state law and federal law and having both, but sometimes I'm just like, why are we making it so complicated? Why can't we just have one rule book, and then you learn it wherever you grow up in this country, and then you just know it everywhere you go, and you don't have to.
I have to disagree with this. I think it's one of the things that makes America great is that, like, I can go live in California if I want to live like that, and if I want to live under those policies, and if I want to live under more socialism, liberalism, Democrat ideology, then I'll go live there. But it's like, then I don't have to get a passport. I don't have to get a citizenship if I don't want to live under that law necessarily.
Yeah, it's like moving to another country without having to go through the whole.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like there's pros to it and there's cons. Like if there was like one uniform law for everything, it would be a lot more like simple, but you wouldn't have those opportunities where it's like, oh, I can go to this other state and, you can kind of customize your lifestyle depending on what state you're in and all that. Like, you can find one that fits for you and your ideologies and stuff.
No, exactly that. It's like, maybe some people don't want to walk around their downtown city and smell weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they don't want their children to grow up like that. So they should, I think it's cool that they have a choice. Because, like, okay, am I somebody who's obviously not pro-weed? No, I think that weed should be legal. But, like, I do think it's cool that in America that there's places that it's like, oh, no, like, this is where we live by this way. And we have this type of food. And we have this type of people and this type of accent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can go visit that and go see different people with different cultures almost.
Or even cool. Like here in Utah, the alcohol laws are different. So it's like, Wisconsin is the drunkest state in the country. Maybe somebody grows up there and they've just had a horrible experience with alcohol and they're like, I need to find something different. But if the laws were the same in every state as they are in Wisconsin, I mean, you'd probably just have the drunkest country in the world. And but it's cool that this person, if they've had bad experiences with alcohol, they could be like, oh, Utah has, tighter alcohol laws, so I won't have to experience that, and,
Or I've known people to move to Texas and out of Texas who have, like, just grown and, like, felt so much better in a different environment, right? Just being like, oh, I had to get out of that state, go someplace else. And like I said, just like the availability to do that, and like, because what you guys were saying, there's such a big change in between states. So being able to make such a big change without having to go through such a big process.
Yeah, it's just
you have
freedom.
Yeah, it really, it's diverse. Everything, like, America is a very diverse place, which I appreciate.
Also, it keeps us from like a bad government, and I think that's why our founding fathers made sure that every state had its own government, is so that there isn't one superpower. Yeah, because then you
end up with a dude like Hitler, that just runs everything and like all that. Like it is nice having that. And Hunter and we were talking about this very topic before, like a while ago, And he brought up like the example with abortion, like it's pretty split. Like people support it, people don't. But it's cool that, if you're living a life where like, you want abortion to be a thing, you can go to a state where that's like totally fine. And if you're against it, you can go to a state that, like thinks the same way. And yeah, there's a spot for everybody here, which is, I think, one of the greatest parts of it.
Yeah, because in Colombia we have a lot of corruption because we have just one big government. Mm-hmm. So it's really easy to get corruption there. And here it's not the case, but it's harder to get all the states unified to do something. I think that's the biggest con of having like states. But like the biggest plus is like it's diverse, like you say, like it's a lot of freedom. You can do a lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
I love that I can't name all the rules in our government because like like that's so many people that have to make decisions. That's so many people that we vote into positions to hold each other accountable. Like look at all the men and women that sit in front of like the Speaker of the House. Like all those people are on our Congress, and then you have your state government and even more people to make decisions. So it's not just like 10 people in a room making the decisions.
Yeah, it's like hundreds.
It's hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's like a giant press conference.
So even if there is 5 bad seeds, like you have a huge probability of having so many good people in there too.
And that's like not even just in government, but I think like just in general. I think there is more good people than not out there, but the bad seeds, they draw a lot of attention. Like everybody knows when there's like a corrupt politician, but like a good politician doesn't get that same amount of attention, So it's like I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's I'm very grateful that there's people out there that want to do that stuff because I totally don't. Thinking of just sitting in like some courtroom all day and just listening to some guy talk about some stuff on a piece of paper and trying not to fall asleep, like that just sounds horrible. So I am very grateful that there are like, we have this ability to like do votes and like have somebody, represent us.
Who has a brain that works for that, right?
Yeah, because I could never.
No, me neither.
I would literally end myself in the worst way possible.
On that, do you think, because like the Bible says that everything has already been done. Like it says like years from now people will say this is new, but they don't know because, we look at civilizations, they used to be far more advanced than, honestly, a lot of things we have today. There's buildings that we still could not construct today that they did
pyramids,
back then.
Man.
Yeah, just in stones that they were able to move. How? With what technology, right? So, these people were really smart back then, and their bodies were superior, and they lived hundreds of years. So, but like with that, do you think that they had their own version of podcasts back then, or talk shows, like where people would have an audience and be like,
I
feel like,
especially with philosophy.
Yeah.
Right? Philosophers coming up and sitting, and they had the audience like this, talking.
I know, like in Greece, like they'd have like philosophers just stand up there and like basically preach to the choir, like that's basically. Like when you think of it, a podcast is just talking to people with an audience, or just talking with an audience, basically. But like now, I'm doing the same thing Socrates was doing, just standing in front of people and like talking.
It's the Tonight Show with Aristotle.
Yeah. But now it's just we have different ways of doing it. So yeah, I don't think there's anything new under the sun, and I think creation as a whole is finished, but like we are just exploring all of these things that always have been since the beginning of creation. Even this podcast existed before, but now we're just getting to experience like what has already been made, I guess. I don't know how to put that.
How I like to explain it is like, I believe that time is almost a punishment for sin, because like when God created Adam and Eve, they weren't supposed to die. Like they weren't created to die ever. So there was no time. And I think that that's a huge part of like whenever Adam and Eve were in the garden, the Bible does not say how long they were in the garden. So that could have been a long time that they were there. So like with how old the earth is. And so some people are like, the earth is super young. The earth is super old. I don't think it's like billions of years old, to be honest. I think that's a little far-fetched. And there's like science against it too. But I think it's like a middle ground, honestly. Like a little bit, because we just don't know how long they were in there. And then we have time. And time is a punishment for sin, because then we have death, and death is that punishment, right? Because we weren't supposed to experience that. That's why it hurts so bad. It stings. It sucks. So this is like our timeline, right? So we have like the beginning, what we know here, starting, and then this is now where we're at. So we have everything in between. And like how I believe like in free will and predestination, in the sense of like, I don't think God's controlling us, but I think that God sees the timeline like that. So he sees all through it. So it's already happened, but like he gives us like our free.
No,
It's weird.
Like the way I kind of look at it is that every single possible way that you could be is already like made. Like say if we didn't want to do this podcast, that reality where we just didn't do this exists, and like your free will is choosing what part of creation you're seeing. Mm-hmm. But like once you hop onto like a timeline or whatever, I think it's like predestined. Like it's already like played out, but you just you choose to experience it, but the experience is made already.
Yes.
You know?
So yeah, like I guess a better word is like I think that like God lets us choose. For my personal belief, I believe God lets us choose, but he already knows us so well. He knows what we're gonna do. It's like, oh yeah, I already know what you're gonna do, but I have given you that free will, right? Because because he loves us. Because if you love someone, you don't control them.
No, exactly. You just let them be.
And you want them to love you because it's your choice, right? He wants us to love him because we want to love him.
It's like what we were talking about earlier, where it's like if you're in a healthy relationship, like you do things for somebody because you want to, not because you feel like you have to, or it's I feel that love from God, source, universe, whatever, you want to call it, because we are allowed to be exactly however we want. And as long as you let yourself do it, nothing else is stopping you. Like God, whatever you want to call it, isn't. It's just like, do what you must. Do what you feel you want to, and just enjoy yourself. And that's, that just comes straight from love. Like, straight love is just like, be exactly what you want, dude.
He's been putting that in my face a lot when I've been reading the Word. It's like in all the different possible ways from different authors, whether it's Peter, Paul, John, it's been like, love others. Love others.
No,
love is
exactly.
your highest goal. Love is your highest goal. And it's like, and I was thinking about that concept because I think a lot of people get confused and they think that love means like
romantic
acceptance.
Or something.
No, just like acceptance. Love is not acceptance of like of bad things either. Like people think love means like you just accept people for how that, and I don't think that is it. You know what I? Like, it's what we were talking about earlier. Like how if your significant other started a t-shirt business and then they stopped working as hard, you wouldn't just be like.
Yeah, you wouldn't just let that go. You'd be like, hey, what's going on with this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like love always wants to, it'll like nudge you towards the right direction, but it's not going to force you to go that way, and it's still going to, care about you whatever way you go. But, yeah.
I'll let it go back to you and Felipe for a little bit. I'm going to go get cauliflower wings.
Get them cauliflower wings, dude.
I'm going to get a refill, too.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, man. What are, I don't know, your
Fly was down, y'all. Can you guys not tell me?
you had your fly down?
Yes.
Was it?
Oh man, it's
Embarrassed.
that's embarrassing. There's a whole 2 other people in this room, dude.
Well, I thought y'all might have seen me walk, because it was from when I went to the bathroom, so when I walked out there, I just was like, you not see it?
Hey, at least
Alright.
when a dude has his fly down, you could have something fall out, dude. That's when you should be like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
But what are your spiritual or religious philosophies or beliefs or whatever? If you don't mind sharing, I mean,
Yeah,
I know.
Mind. Well, I think God loves us so much that, like you said, He gave us the opportunity to feel and to experience and to love and to hate, like all these feelings that even if at the beginning you don't like it, you're like, wow, that's gonna help me to grow up, you know?
Yeah,
Because you don't grow up if you don't feel hate.
you'll never know how to love if you don't ever hate.
Yeah, literally.
I always like to say, like, there was never any born genius. You got to be stupid before you can be smart. One of my examples is when I was 16, I was a little hood rat, and I got in trouble a lot, and like I got to a point where I started getting in trouble with the police and stuff, and now it's like, you know, I know not to do those things because I was able to go through those experiences, and yeah, I don't know. It's at the time it really sucked, but I look back and I'm like, thank God that I went through that, because now I'm here where I'm at, and I think it's every single moment that you are experiencing is a gift, a blessing, even if it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
Right now, it'll make sense at some point.
Yeah, even like being able to see, to touch all these things, because there's people that they cannot do it. They lack or something to do to be able to do it. So it's like we're privileged to be here, to be healthy, to have all our body parts, you know. But yeah, I think life is a really big experience, and there's gonna be ups and downs, and there's gonna happen a lot of things, but you have God on your side. You have Jesus. Like they are going to always protect you, or always try to protect you, because all the decisions you made or you're gonna make, it depends on you.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're gonna do. But like, so how you feel sometimes when you are like on the streets, or you're gonna do something and you think, oh, I don't think I should do that because something wrong could happen. I feel those feelings that you have, or that voice in your head, it can be like the Holy Spirit telling you, hey, you should not, because maybe something bad is gonna happen, you know?
Yeah. That's like, I know, you know, I'm not like Christian or nothing, but I've read like enough of the Bible, and like, you know, I jive with most of what it says, and I know in there it says like your body is a temple of God, and you know, it's also said that like, you know, God is in, above, and through all things, or something along those lines. And you know, I do think that, you know, when you have that, not even just when you have that voice that's like, oh, I shouldn't do this, but when you have that voice that's like, I should do this, like, I think that's God working through you. And like, you know, you get a very strong feeling like of like, oh, dude, I should do this, or I don't know, dude, this seems really like I shouldn't do this. Like,
Yeah.
I've learned to just completely trust that, because to me, that's just God, or whatever you want to call it, like letting me know, like, hey,
Yeah.
don't do this, or do this, you know?
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like with compliments, when you feel that you have to compliment this person because he looks good, or his shirt looks good, or like all the compliments that you give to people, I think that's because or the Holy Spirit, He's like trying to encourage you to say those things, because even when you say like a really small compliment to a person, you can change their day.
Yeah, they might need that.
Yes.
And like, yeah, that's I give people compliments all the time because I just get this like urge, and like it's like, okay, I could have complimented anybody,
but I choose you.
Yeah, but I see this person, and it's like I get this strong urge to do it, and then I do it, and it just like, I mean, I feel better after it, and I know the other person does too, and I'm just at a point where I'm like, okay, that person probably, had a bad day recently, or has, low self-esteem or something, and they need something to lift them up. And like, yeah, I think that's just God like working through me to help meet people's needs, because that's what God does, is make sure that all of our needs are met.
Yeah.
And anybody can be a vessel for that.
That's something that I really love about Loie, because she's the kind of person that is on Ross or something, and she always gives compliments to people like, oh, I like your hat, I like your smile, you look good. And I love that, because I'm not able to do that sometimes, but it's very rare, because I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, the Holy Spirit is always working through her, and maybe we don't notice, but it's always there. I just feel like we always have the company of the Holy Spirit. Sometimes it feels more, and sometimes it feels less, but it's always there.
Yeah, it's really cool too, because like you might do something for somebody and it seems like really small, like telling somebody like, oh, I like your hair or whatever. All you experience from that is that interaction, but then that person goes on their way, and like you don't always see the results of what you do, but it does do something. And maybe you giving that person that compliment made them just so confident in themselves that like now they're going to ask the girl out that they've been, and then they might get married, have kids, and you could have just changed that person's life without even knowing it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I love me some God talk, man. But hey, we're at like an hour right now. Do you have anything else that you want to contribute at all, or anything you just want to put out there?
Well, I'll say that to tell people that is listening that God loves you, and He's always there, and He loves you so much that He sent His Son to die for you, for your sins. And also like the Holy Spirit is always on your side. And even like, because I had my times before when I feel depressed and I feel like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore, I'm just tired. And in those moments I had the feeling like, even if I feel alone, someone is next to me, or God can send a person to tell you something nice to make you feel good, and that can change your day, and that can change your way or thinking. So yeah, I'll just say like the Holy Spirit is always on your side. In the bad times, good times, is always there, and we don't realize it, and we should realize it more, because it's like our guide on our lives. Like all the good decisions is because of the Holy Spirit, and the bad decisions is usually because we didn't listen to it.
Yeah, honestly, that's a beautiful message, man. I vibe with that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, Felipe. I enjoyed this to the fullest degree. I hope that we can do another one sometime.
Oh yeah, sure. This was really nice. I really like it. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, indeed, amigo. Indeed. Do you have anything you want to shout out, like your Instagram or your businesses you're trying to run or anything like that?
No, so far. Maybe in the next podcast, I'll have something But I like low profile. I'm not like,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Well, for all y'all listening, next time you tune in and Felipe's here, make sure to check in on his business that he's going to be running, because he just said that he'd have one. But thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. I hope y'all had as much fun listening as I had talking. And until next time, I hope you have a good time. Peace out.